Good morning, Web Spiders. Today is Wednesday, September 19th, 2018. It's going to be a Webbtastic Wednesday. We do not have any birthdays in the web, so I don't have any birthdays to announce. So I'm going to talk to you about something that helped me be in the green zone, something that I'm very, very proud of, that had me in my green zone. Do you know that we had more than 70 kids stay after school on Monday who are kindergarten, first, and second grade? And they're all a part of the dance team. Now, I don't know the exact number, 73, 76, something like that, but more than 70 5, 6, and 7-year-olds stayed for dance team. Not one of those kids had to be redirected. Not one of those kids had to be reminded about their behavior. Not one of those kids stood when they were waiting for parents to pick up. They all sat down and waited patiently. Not one of those kids made a bad choice. All 70-some kids that stayed for dance team practiced self-discipline. They listened to Mrs. Williams. They did what she asked them to do when they were learning the part of their brand new dance. They followed directions. They were kind and caring to each other, waited patiently. They practiced self-discipline, and they're 5, 6, and 7 years old. So I'm going to challenge you, if you're 8, 9, or 10 and you go to Web, to try to practice the same self-discipline. Because if our 5-year-olds can do it, our 10-year-olds can do it. And I just need you to. Because something, as green as I was here in that report, something kind of got me in the yellow and almost in the red. We've got some bus issues that are kind of out of control. Now, I want to give shout out to bus 122 in the afternoon because we made a new seating chart and things seem to be going pretty well. I looked at a bus tape and some of the kiddos that I had to remind to sit in their seats and not put their feet in the aisle and that kind of thing are doing it right. So thank you, because that fills my bucket up and that puts me back in the green. But 1:58 in the morning, ladies and gentlemen, I heard of 2 or 3 bus write-ups that were going to happen today. And they're just because you're not practicing self-discipline. You're cussing, using words that we don't use at Webb Elementary. Those are called informal words, and we don't talk like that on the bus or in this school, period. You guys are just being squirrely. I just can't really explain it, but it puts me in that yellow zone because I'm frustrated and I don't know what to do about it. So I'm going to have to really reach deep into my tools and see how I can get back in the green when I know that I have 4 or 5 bus tickets coming electronically in my email in just a few minutes when the drivers get back to the bus barn, when they get access to a computer. And all it takes is self-discipline. Our 5-year-olds can do it. Can our older kids do it? See, I think you can. Oh, I think you can. But I do have lots of guests in the studio today, which is really nice. So let's start by introducing yourself and tell us what class you're from.
Justin Tisdale from Mrs. McGuire's class. I'm Parker Lewis from Mrs. McGuire's class. I'm Logan Jewell from Mrs. McGuire's class. I'm Bryce Bull from Mrs. McGuire's. I'm Nancy Bowers-Upper from Mrs. McGuire's class. I'm also Leon from Mrs. McGuire's class.
Okay. You guys are practicing good self-discipline. In fact, when I was getting ready to start announcements, I wasn't even sure if you guys were out in the hallway yet, because you're doing exactly what I've asked our announcement people to do. Just kind of wait at the bench. I'll invite you in when it's time for announcements. I didn't hear you over the bookstore crowd or anything like that. So thank you for that. Thank you for being good examples and practicing your self-discipline. And thank you for helping me this morning. Have any of you had to really practice self-discipline in this month of September? Austin, what about you? Tell us.
Well, I would be playing baseball, and sometimes I'd have to sit on the bench for like an inning when I really wanted to go play. Or I just couldn't wait for something to happen. Like we would have a big game against a team that we would want to lead, and sometimes I would have to sit when I know I could play.
So when you're sitting on that bench, really wanting to play, are you fussing and arguing and mad about it? Or are you just like, hey, I'm going to have a good attitude and the coach is going to put me back in when he needs me in there? Is that what you're doing? That is self-discipline. Because sometimes when we're frustrated or just really anxious about something, we don't always show the best side of ourselves. But if you're kind of restraining, then you are practicing self-discipline. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to share a self-discipline story? No? Okay. Well, that's all right. At this time, please stand and push your chair, and we're going to have a moment of silence.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. Logan, could I get you to hold the flag for us? And will you guys join me in the pledge? Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you know that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile? There's a statistic. I'm sure you could Google it if your teacher gave you permission, but it takes, I don't even know how many muscles to frown, but it's a bunch. But it only takes a few muscles to smile. So I always say to kids when they're like grumpy or frowning, quit working so hard, because you're actually using a whole bunch of muscles to do that. So don't work so hard today. Let's see some smiles on your faces, okay? Thanks for a great fire drill yesterday. You guys did a great job of just really practicing self-discipline and self-control, because it's our first instinct when we hear that fire alarm to want to line up at the door immediately. And we've kind of changed that procedure according to the state fire marshal, and we're having a little bit of a delay. That couple of minutes isn't going to be life-threatening if there was a real fire, and it also gives us some clarity. Like if there was a real fire in Webb, in that 3 minutes, I could tell you exactly where that fire is in the building, and then we would avoid that area when we're leaving the building. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? And I can also tell you if, oh my gosh, the alarm company was just testing the alarms, we really don't need to go outside. It's just a test on the system, not a real fire drill. Okay, so thanks for practicing your self-discipline. Let's do our creed and have a Webbtastic Wednesday. Here we go.
I am a member of the Webb family. I take pride in myself and my school. I promise to do these things every day. I will only say positive things about myself and others. I will respect and trust others. I will insist on giving my personal best. I will discuss and listen actively. I will expect and give truth and honesty. I am glad to do my part to make Webb School a place where everybody is somebody special. Make it a great day in the Webb. Make it a Webbtastic Wednesday. And please, 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 please practice your self-discipline. And teachers, be on alert. Me in that yellow zone getting these bus tickets will probably mean a lot of kiddos will miss recess today because of something they did on the bus. And I hate that, but there's got to be a consequence. And we have to think about our actions and try to change them the next time around. So make it a great day in the Webb. Make sure you are doing it right.
Have a great day, spiders.